Well, we'll give a check and see if anybody can hear us.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear
Lizzie
us.
Daughtry says no sound. Anybody else hearing the same thing? No sound?
Let us know if you're hearing us.
Please,
This
please
is...
don't hesitate. Please let us know if you can hear us. Otherwise, we're going to restart.
Yeah, we will restart if you cannot hear us. You are Monday night here with us, Sketchy Live as normal. This is our second broadcast in 2024. Oh, George Widmer says he can hear us now.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay, good.
Well, fantastic. It's Sketchy Live Monday. You've made it. Tonight, we're going to talk about quite a few things where we reminisced. We went back to something that we did back in 2020. In fact, it was the third
season, eighth episode of Sketchy Live.
What I'm saying is the third month, so that's what March.
Mm-hmm.
So March 3rd,
March 2nd,
March 2nd on 2020. Autorama going on around that time,
probably.
Yeah, so we were just young bucks, had no idea what we were missing. But we were sketching a really cool, fun movie that I have always enjoyed. Has some of my favorite comedic actors in it. And we're talking about the Blues Brothers. And if you've seen our post, that's what a part of the topics of things tonight we're going to try to cover, which is to go over ItyB. I finally cornered her where she was sitting down, and I said, "It's on, and we're watching it." And 2 attempts, actually. We still had to do it twice to finish it.
Yeah.
But we didn't get too far the first night, and that was after some pretty stressful stuff. And then we plan to talk about a couple different things.
Because I have some burning questions for you.
Burning questions.
Yes.
So we plan to talk about, kind of what are things that, so we'd love to hear your input.
Feedback needed.
What are things to help keep projects going, and also to what is the plan with Raquel and things for the future of other builds possibly for us. And much more. So with that being said, ItyB, who is on the broadcast of Sketchy Live, the podcast?
We got a couple peeps. We've got Lizzie Daughtry joining us as always,
our ride or die Lizzie Daughtry.
We've got James Olchin, hello from frozen Lincoln, Nebraska. God's blessings. Thank you, sir.
Everybody's got frozen stuff going on.
Howard Pierpont, 49 degrees and mostly cloudy in Mineola, Texas tonight.
Mineola, Texas. Where was he before? Howard Pierpont in Greeley, Colorado.
It was Greeley, Colorado when he first started.
That's right.
Lizzie Daughtry said, "We missed you guys."
We missed you all too, and we're going to touch on that once we get a sec here. Yeah.
George Widmer the fourth, we can hear you. Yep.
Roger
Jim
that.
McMillan can hear us. James Olchin said the sound is good.
Perfect.
Lizzie is posting her youtube.com, her Ms. Butterfree 34. I know it's after the holidays, but we have Valentine's Day coming up, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Plan ahead.
Lots of stuff coming up.
Get your stuff
Get your
from
merch.
Lizzie. Rob Earl said, "I can hear it on YouTube, but not on Facebook." That's weird, but we have Facebook people saying they can hear us. So.
Okay.
We've got Jim Pollan joining us. Hello, everyone from Hobo's Hot Rod Garage in Horseheads, New York. Welcome, sir.
Soupy doop.
We've got Scott Ferguson from Ferg's Rod Shop. Hey, y'all.
Right on.
Lizzie Daughtry said the Blues Brothers still have the pick. Yeah, we did. We sold quite a few of those.
That was probably one of our
larger selling. Corvette Summer, I think, still stands as the most sold.
Yeah, and I would say the Darth Vader rod definitely was one of the big ones.
And the Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine was definitely a big one.
Yeah, we have a few faves.
Yeah, so there's quite a few that we have. So a lot of them. So
we've got Shaggy LeBlanc joining us.
Shaggy LeBlanc.
We will see Shaggy and the crew, the Michigan crew, in about a month and a half at Autorama. I'm pretty excited about it. George Maychart joining us. Hi, guys.
And you're pronouncing that correctly, right?
Maychart?
I think he told you were.
I think so.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm
We've
just trying
got
to screw with you.
we've got Cam McNulty joining us. Your daughter, Cam.
There's me,
Paul Marziani from Bradenton, here right here in Florida.
Bradenton Motorsports, where we'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Bob Brandl's joining us. Of course, Bob was the furnisher of your tailgate.
Yes,
for Kona.
and Bob actually offered today, and I really appreciate Bob. There just was a rush for time, and I knew I wouldn't have time to get it, but he offered to give us as a backdrop some props. So I guess he had a die-cast metal car of the Blues Machine, or the Bluesmobile. Sorry, and then he also had a signed poster, John Landis, and I couldn't figure out what that second or signature was. But
that would have
maybe
been
one of the great, maybe Dan Aykroyd. I'm going to assume maybe.
Ah, that would have been cool.
Could
Mike,
you imagine if it was John Belushi's signature? Man, could you imagine that?
Whew. We've got Hicks, Mike Hicks joining us. Good to see you guys.
Peeking on that one, you were peeking in the orange. Go ahead.
We will see you, Mike, in a couple weeks as well. Ron Sedlak as well. See you soon, sir. Jim McMillan said, "Hey guys, welcome back." We've got Richard Hahn joining us from Alpena, Michigan. Welcome. He said Facebook sound is good, so he's not having any issues. Tanya Fightmaster,
could be the weather. Could
see
be the weather
soon. Yes, ma'am. Gosh, I feel like
homecoming.
You know the excitement that I have when we go home to see my family?
Yeah.
This is the excitement.
I'm feeling it as well. It's definitely an exciting thought process to get to hang with some people that
have been so supportive. Yeah. Tyler Anderson is joining us. Here's us on Facebook, so that is cool. Jim McMillan said, "Got my air-cooled T-shirt today.
Nice.
Love it. Awesome.
Thank you for the support in the order."
Matt Williams, good evening from Idaho. Had our share of snow. Yes, I've seen snow all over the place, and I'm a little jealous. I like the snow, and hopefully, maybe not so bad when we go to Michigan.
No, I prefer
light dusting.
You can have a little dusting is fine. We can see, at least we can see it on the road or whatever. But
we will.
Have you seen the videos of people like 40, 70, 80 cars smashing?
I was just gonna say we will be purchasing the insurance.
Definitely
when we rent our car.
Would prefer not to have to do that deal at all.
It's Macart. Okay. Macart, George. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure she wasn't butchering it too bad. But listen,
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen. If she's not butchering your name, then it's not ItyB.
Then am I really me? Yeah. We've got David Evans joining us. Johnny, how are you doing, my friend?
Hey, we're hanging in there, man.
G Moore, what's up? Hope all is well with y'all. Bob said there are 5 or 6 different signatures on. Oh wow! Actually. Okay. Dave said, "Hi, y'all. Hearing you in rainy Huntington Beach, California."
Oh, it's raining in Huntington Beach. You know, that's when you know the weather is really going to stray when you start.
When it's raining in California.
When people in California are like, "We're in the whole. What is going on? Some chemtrails."
We've got Mary Evans joining us, possibly Dan as well.
What is
Maybe
going
they're together.
on to our fellowship family?
And Tommy Rouse. Good evening from California.
Hey, what's going on, Tommy?
So that's catching you up for now on who's joining us on the broadcast.
Hey, well, that's awesome. So thank you guys all so much for hanging out with us on Monday Night Sketchy Live, the podcast. We have to signify the two. And again, we hope to not get away from drawing and sketching and doing fun stuff like that.
We just needed a minute.
Under the circumstances. And again, just to kind of throw it out there and let's bring it down for a minute. Ooh. You know, after we lost Mama Jalopy here a couple
Saturday
last Saturday before. I just want to thank every single one of you guys out there and all the people that have definitely shown support and sent beautiful flower arrangements and cards and different messages on Facebook and just people just reaching out to get, say, hey, our condolences or our thoughts and prayers with your family. And we really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to ItyB, of course. And again, like I said, I didn't get to say or typed it, but I will tell you, in the midst of my mom in her last few days, I would pull the phone out and show her where people were sending prayers and thoughts, and it made her smile and it made her feel special. And so I just wanted to thank the whole Jalopy crew and army out there and all you guys that reached out to thank us and condolences. But I will tell you, my mom was a strong lady and a push on and move on type woman. she was a big fan of the podcast. She would watch it not live all the time, but she would watch it in replay and critique me and tell us things that she liked, didn't like. So she was a big supporter of Sketchy Live. So we continue on in the memory of Mama Jalopy, of course. And of course, really, this all starts from my dad. We didn't give him a nickname,
Papa Jalopy.
but he, I don't know if he'd be Papa Jalopy, but he was definitely the inspiration and motivation for all of this to happen, which is what really got me my ass off the couch, or whatever you want to call it, and try to start doing drawing stuff as serious, and try to do it as a business and a fun thing. So I owe all that to my dad, and that was one of the promises I made to him when he passed away, is that I would do something with the art that he taught me and shared with me. So again, we're going to continue on. We're going to continue to do positive things and be light, and share our lives and the things that we enjoy, and be real about all that stuff. Unfortunately, these kinds of things happen in our life. We lose loved ones, but it doesn't mean that life ends. It just means we remember. My mom will always be in my heart and always in my memories. And of course, again, thank you guys so much for all the outpouring of love.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to that? And then we'll move on.
No, just incredible support. I mean, Mama was a huge part of what we were doing here. Like Johnny said, she would be many times giving us ideas for what to draw or ideas on what to do. She was just so supportive. There wasn't a single thing. I mean, she may have been critiquing, but she never said, I don't think this is working. There were times you said, I don't think this is working.
No, but she was very honest about things that she's like, oh, it sounds like you kids were this or that, or even there were times where she's like, well, I saw that person say this, and I don't know if I agree with that. And I was like, okay, Mom, appreciate that. She had an opinion, and she was strong about it, but was always supportive, and definitely was like, on my Monday calls with her, what are you doing tonight? What are you drawing?
Yeah.
And that's when I knew the pressure was coming. I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm drawing, Mom. She's like, well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It was always good. But
she's just
and that was a ritual for me. Mondays started off before I came home, from the transition from work to home was a phone call to my mom. And that was a great jumping off point, and it generally would get me motivated, and she'd throw an idea or something to that effect. But it's been great, and it'll continue on, and I love her very much, and I miss her very much, and it's not been an easy process.
No.
But
just like she showed us, and we learned from her example how to move past loss. She experienced several in her life.
Wow.
And some just most recently.
Yeah, I don't know. It still amazes me how she was able to get through a lot of the things that she got through.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we're here tonight.
Yeah,
and not taking more time off.
No,
Sketchy Live did need a minute.
Sketchy Live doesn't end, and we continue on, and we want to make sure that we continue to bring something fun to watch, and again, we continue to appreciate everybody kind of hanging out and stuff like that. So hey, and speaking of things that my mom loved to do, she was a big music fan, and loved all kinds of music. In fact, that's why I have such a vast love of different styles of music, is because early on in my childhood, my mom would tell me all the time, don't pick a favorite music, love all music. So she was a big disco fan when disco wasn't cool, and she'd play it. She didn't care. She'd crank up her Bee Gees albums.
Oh, the CDs we found at her place.
So yeah, oh my God, there was so much music. But that was one of the things that she loved to do. So that, transitioning into our conversation with the Blues Brothers, what a great movie. And again, if you haven't seen the Blues Brothers, I highly recommend it. Now that you've seen it, would you say the same? It's a great movie.
And here's what I think.
And then I want to get into the discussion is, why is it a car guy movie, and why it may not be a car guy movie?
I feel like it's a musical. I feel like it should have been a musical. Like, were there plays done afterwards, like actual musicals done? Because
should have been, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just such a great soundtrack. I mean, songs we all know.
Phenomenal soundtrack.
And just the energy level of these guys. And I got to be honest, I did fall asleep during part of it. But again,
because the beginning,
we were losing some sleep.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
But once we got back into it, and we were really where we fell asleep was right. Jake had just got out of jail. And it was right before really the beginnings of where the movie starts kind of cranking off, and they get pulled over.
They were going through the mall.
Well,
They
that's
were
what I'm
being
saying.
chased
Where
through the
we
mall.
got
That's
where
where
we
I fell
fell asleep
asleep.
was right before that. Is where they
Yeah.
got pulled over by the cops in like a rural neighborhood, not a rural neighborhood, like a regular neighborhood, and you know, and here where they start running Elwood's license and stuff, and he's like telling Jake, you know, almost like be ready because it's not gonna show
There's
up
some
good.
stuff going down.
You know, and he just got out of prison the day before. So
but he wasn't the one that they were after at that
no,
point.
because he was good to go to
Yeah.
as far. But yeah, it's such a great movie. And again, is it definitely a music movie? But why do car guys like that? Because really the car that's in it is not. I mean,
It's not a fantastic.
baloney.
Yeah.
It is a cool car because it's this
Yeah.
cool cop car that they're
Right, but
driving around. That still looks like a cop car.
But half of the ones that were ruined in that scene that you talked about, those were all pretty cool cars too. So you were saying, and this was the only movie or the first movie with as much vehicular destruction.
I think at its time, I want to say even maybe up until like the 80s or 90s, I want to say Blues Brothers was ranked in the amount of car crashes per movie or cars that were damaged in the movie. It had the lead by a long way. And
so
again,
unnecessarily as well.
But but was it though?
That's what made it funny. But like
Yeah.
you could have had maybe 50 cars, but to go through as many as they went.
Listen, how awesome is it that the thought process behind the film was let's just destroy a mall. Now you can't tell me any car guy or let's just in general. How many times have you ever been in a mall? Let's even go back to when the mall was really prevalent. So right, 80s, 90s, when
that's when I worked there.
Right. And you would go through the mall and if you thought about driving or a car, maybe even a motorcycle guy thought about, man, could you imagine how cool it would be just to drive a car around inside here? And like when you would see cars parked inside, you're like, how did they get in? How did they get it in here? As someone got to drive it around in the mall. And yeah. So not only did they do that part, they drove cars around in the mall, but they drove cars around in the mall into the mall. So that part is just such an amazing thing. What are your thoughts out there? Is Blues Brothers more of a musical movie or is it more of a car guy movie? And why would you consider it a car movie? I know for me, again, car movie for sure, because
there were a bunch of cars in it.
I mean, it's a cop car with cop motor, cop shocks, cop tires. Yeah. That was the big selling point for Elwood. He was like, yeah, we have that Cadillac. And we do see the old Blues Brothers mobile, which was an old Cadillac Eldorado. I forget what year, like early 70s, maybe a 60s. But the cop car is still way cooler, I think, than that Cadillac.
Well, and then for them to strap the thing on, like, because I hadn't seen the movie, so when you drew it, I'm like, what is this?
Oh, the speaker. Why?
Yeah,
how and why? And they really don't show, other than they just show up to this
and it's on there
random spot in the middle of like a park or something, and there's this big giant speaker.
All of a sudden it's there.
They don't show them taking it down. They don't show them anything other than it just slapped on with some plywood onto the roof of the car. But how amazing then does the car transform into this really funny looking machine that's not only a cop car, but it's now this walking billboard for the upcoming show Blues Brothers Music and Review. So hey, you on there on the bike, don't forget to see the Blues Brothers.
Hey, they packed the house.
They did.
Spoiler
they did
alert.
Pack it.
I'm gonna catch up on comments.
Yeah,
here.
Go ahead.
So we've got Ronnie Ogus. Good evening to you. It's me, Ronnie, sending you some San Jose, California love.
We'll take it.
We've got iMuffs tuning in.
Oh, nice.
Good day, y'all, from Dingo Land.
Hey, beautiful product.
Ate your baby.
If it's the iMuff, if it's the person that I know that says iMuffs, I'm assuming maybe either the inventor or the person that sells them.
Oh.
But an amazing product. I own a pair myself. Yes. I was fortunate enough to get a pair when we were building this 3FV, the Funky Futura from Ventura. He had sent in a couple pairs to Ian, and Ian gifted me a pair. and I love them. They're amazing, and I need to do some YouTube stuff utilizing them more. I got some welding and some projects coming up with some cool stuff from Jalopy Garage,
and we will talk about that in a sec. Gary Miller said, "Hey, y'all, just wants to drop in and say hello from Nashville. Just finally got dug out of the snow. Was trapped way out here in the country for 8 days. LOL." Unreal. I can't even imagine that much snow.
Yeah.
Frank Pupello, hi, Sketchy Live. Missed the first 10 minutes. I was rebuilding the drivetrain on my remote control car. That's a, you know what, much cheaper hobby than the bigger cars. But
I don't know,
still
not that much
nonetheless. Lizzie said, my heart and prayers are still with you guys. We appreciate that. Doug Dorr joining us, fantastic pinstriper and
oh my god, he posted a picture of
coming
me
out with some cool stuff,
hanging out in the tiki lounge.
Oh, when he went to visit.
Oh my god, I forgot. I didn't forget about it because it was I couldn't believe I was there. First of all, because over the years, following Doug Dorr and becoming a fan of his, I would see all these famous dudes or artists that I looked up to were in that place having a drink with Doug, and I'm like, oh my god, one day I hope I can make it into that or get invited. And then the day came, and I drove a long way to get there, and then had way too many drinks to be driving home. I should have crashed at his house. I don't think
he made that available.
I don't know if he did.
He said, just popping on to say hi, and again, so sorry about your mom.
Thanks,
love you
man.
both. Thank
Appreciate
you.
It.
Ronnie said you did your mom proud, brother.
Thanks, man.
She would tell him all the time how proud she was.
I love my mom.
40 Mamba, so sorry for your loss. Thank you. Diane Kinnery said, hi, Johnny and ItyB. Diane and Ray from Istover, Illinois. Really bad here. Had to salt the porch and sidewalks for comet going out. So sorry for the loss of your mom.
Thank you so much. Stay warm.
James Olchin said to Mama Jalopy, rest in peace.
Thank you.
40 Mamba said, it's me. Oh, George Mackhart. Now he's prophetically, phonetically rather.
That's right.
Typing it out. That's funny. Watching on both Facebook and YouTube. We love the YouTube.
How funny if she was phonetically still not saying it right.
I know.
You'll meet him someday, and he'll go, no, it was Flanglard.
Muff said, my deepest condolences, Johnny. I hope our moms meet up in heaven. We will all be together one day.
For sure.
Absolutely. Mark Callowitz said, hey guys, greetings from Tom's River. Sorry about Mama.
Thank you. Tom's River.
George said Psalm 116:15, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. That's right.
Absolutely.
And that word precious is actually translated costly, because in God's eyes, when we're not on earth and moving his word, we're not doing the work.
That's right.
So,
we're not dispelling
but you
darkness.
know what? She had a lifetime of being a light.
Holy cow, she did.
A lifetime of sharing that good news. So we're proud of her.
Yeah. I would have many conversations with my mom in the day when she's sitting there and she's getting her rewards. Holy cow, the line will be long behind her. We'll be all waiting, going, what is going on?
Holding up the line?
Are we at Disney World or something?
She'll be sharing her tamale recipe.
It's my mom getting rewards. You better just grab a chair. We're going to be here a while.
Gary Wall Jones, condolences to you guys. Hugs from Australia.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Mike Hicks said we're putting the band back together in Detroit.
That's right.
I'll be on tambourine.
Tambourine.
Dan Evans said, did your mother ever imagine she would be known as Mama Jalopy? I don't think she did. She loved it though. She embraced it.
Yes, she did. And again, go back and look at those early episodes. There are a few appearances of Mama Jalopy on Sketchy Live.
That's right.
And that was one of the things I was just looking through. I forgot. I was doing some stuff for Hank Dutton, helping us with our website. And I just happened to pop on, and it was one of the episodes where Mom's in there, and I totally forgot she had made an appearance. And she, we actually flipped the camera around. This is when we didn't have a camera pointing towards us, and it was just to the screen, and it was Mom.
We used to flip the camera and just do our send off with just you and I, and she was visiting, and she was in it with us.
It was a great episode.
Aww. James Olchin said Blues Brothers had the most cars used until Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There was another one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was after John Belushi died, and it was Dan Aykroyd, and I want to say, what's his name from Roseanne? Tom
Goodman?
Arnold? No, not Tom Arnold.
John Goodman?
John Goodman basically stepped in as,
Nice.
And then they had a kid, which kind of ruined it, but whatever.
Mala Pandora said yes and yes. So I'm not sure what the yeses are for, but we like yeses.
Yes.
Doug Dorr said, I always wanted to take my Suzuki PE 175 up the escalator.
Right.
I
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be cool. Mark Akalowitz said, car movie with an amazing soundtrack.
Yes.
So he thinks it's a car movie.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Gary Miller said the most outrageous and most cars I've ever seen destroyed in 45-minute car chase scene in the original, Gone in 60 Seconds. They took out a Cadillac dealer in the original from the 70s.
Right. Yeah. And again, you go back and look at that Blues Brothers, and they're towards the end when we got a little visitor. They're towards the end where you could just see cars flying on top of cars, flying on top of cars, the cop cars. It was great. It was amazing.
She won't lay down. Missy, go lay down.
Coop
I got
is
the
making
dog over here.
Coop's making an appearance.
Yeah, she's nudging me.
Yeah.
Oh,
not right by the camera. Ooh, that was a close one.
James Olchin said, why can't we have both in a movie? It really was both. It was music and destruction of vehicles. It's the music that makes the cars so cool, Malo said.
Oh, the music was amazing. Yeah.
Frank Pupello said, Blues Brothers is a classic fun movie. One of those that you have to watch it anytime it comes on. I mean, we had to specifically seek it out. It wasn't on like what channel?
It was on Netflix.
Right. Yeah. So what would it normally be on?
It's always on TBS.
Do they play it?
All the time.
Right.
All the time.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Well, because you probably saw it and went, oh, what is this?
Mark said, I have a slot car version of the Bluesmobile. That'll be fun. Mike Byrne is joining us. Hi, y'all, from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Welcome. Diane said, we had a car in the mall. They had a special door for us car show people to use. It was cool to drive in the mall. 1962 Dodge Lancer. Can't believe how dusty the car got. Oh, from being in the mall, probably. Rob Earl said, from the Hunter Valley, Australia, I have always thought it was a car movie where the music would have been what they were playing on the stereo cassette player. LOL. That's true, right? Dan Evans said, I enjoyed the music and cameo appearances by Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, etc. I was surprised of that as well.
Yes. Big ones.
Yeah.
She hit the camera.
Did she?
Yeah.
We're good. It's still fine. We're still here.
Doggone dog.
She's got a diaper on. Leave her.
Anyway.
Russ Randall's joining us. Welcome. We've got Nicole Ferguson joining us. Hi, guys. Welcome. We'll see you soon,
What's
lady.
up?
Jim McMillan said, I remember having my mom renting the Blues Brothers. I was like 9 or 10. I popped it in, was enjoying it. Then my mom yells down, what is this movie? She came down and watched it with me. She was laughing so hard, then proceeded to tell me I can't watch it until I'm 40, LOL. So I watched it all the way through when I was like 22. Great flick. Crazy how many cars destroyed.
It's such a yeah.
Again, unnecessarily like.
No.
So how does that work? I mean, obviously they were probably mechanically challenged. They weren't just ruining vehicles for the fun of it.
Why not?
You think so?
Yeah.
Weren't those vehicles worth something back then?
They were all like, no, they were 4-door cars. Thousands and thousands of them were made.
Oh,
yeah.
It just seemed, I mean, I don't know.
How else do you get a bigger budget for your movie?
Ton of cleanup.
Think about this. So John Landis, right, director of the movie, that you got to, you're I don't know how many movies he had made up until this point. But think about the fact that, as a director of movies, this is how it works. It's the same thing in business. You have a budget, right? And you got to stick to a budget, but you want to make sure the budget's big so that the next time you ask for more money, they go, well, shoot, man, he spent $57 million and look what he got. And the return on it was great. So when he asked for $100 million next time, they're like, give it to him. Yeah. But there's that fine line of making it within budget, keeping the budget low, but also spending it. Because listen, on the big screen, and what's interesting is there just showed up in my feed on Facebook. There somewhere local is doing a film festival type thing where they're showing Blues Brothers on the big screen, which would be the ultimate way to watch that movie. Big sound,
that would be fun. I'd watch it again
because the music is amazing. But imagine seeing the car chases, as they're going through the city streets of Chicago. And the cop cars are flying into each other and all that stuff on the big screen.
Blasting.
Come on.
Yeah, that would be
fun. Would be amazing.
I'd go. Let's find it. Figure it out. Maybe get some local peeps to meet us there.
Yeah.
Matt Williams said, I remember your mama was talking about her old Chevy while you drew it. So sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was that Bluebird?
The Bluebird.
Yeah. Ralph Pop Sanchez said, howdy y'all, 55 degrees here in San Antonio, Texas. Sorry I'm late to the party. And yes, one of the best soundtracks ever.
Yeah, so let's go through a great soundtrack, starting off where I think the first initial Of course, we see Cab Calloway as the first one of the first people that we see, and you may not recognize him if you don't know
Cameo,
Big Band, right? But he's the first musical person, I think, in the roles of the movie. Frank Oz makes a spot in there too, which is cool. But anyways, I'm like, every time somebody I'm like, guess who that is? And you're like, I don't
know. By looking at him, I don't know. Once Ray Charles started singing, I knew who it was.
Right, but we'd already hit James Brown by that time.
Well, that I knew James Brown.
James Brown, Aretha Franklin hit in there. We got John Lee Hooker, Ray Charles, of course, and then and just so many. It was good. And then the music that they played. Now, here's the cool thing, and again, if you're a Blues Brothers fan, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd were serious musicians. They didn't decide to do the Blues Brothers as a joke of like, hey, let's be funny and we'll be these guys who sing the blues type stuff. They were serious about.
I don't think they were. I mean, parts of the movie were funny, but when they were singing,
if you go back and you look at early SNL, the Blues Brothers made an appearance and they were musical guests. Blues Brothers. It wasn't Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. This is these characters that they're playing in a skit or a sketch. They were serious, and if you watch recent interviews with Dan Aykroyd, he was like, "Man, we were serious about it. They were in the midst of a record deal, and a lot of stuff was going on to where the plan was that the Blues Brothers were going to be a legit touring musical act."
Here's the part that was a bit unrealistic to me: is they pack this house at the end, they come on. Two songs. They bail.
Yeah, they got to get out.
Like, how are the people?
How's
not
that unrealistic,
pissed?
man?
How are the people not?
Because it was good.
It didn't show everybody getting upset about.
Yeah.
We came all the way out here for two songs.
We see a young
and like an intro that went on for like 10 minutes before they got there.
Princess Leia makes an appearance as the love interest.
Oh, well, Cab Calloway did the first song, right? Wasn't it him?
He does do the opening song of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Manny the Moocher, but he does with the kids. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I was like, how are they just doing two songs? So that I mean,
because we got cars. We got cars to crash.
I'm thinking of myself in the audience and how upset I would be that I came to this thing and oh my god,
it was now again. Remember, it was the Blues Brothers in music review, so it wasn't just. It was going to be
so then
the band as well. No, it was the band, and they had and the guys that were in the Blues Brothers band were like legit musicians too.
Right. And they got the band together.
They did get the band together.
Because they were on a mission from God.
Yeah, they were. That was your favorite part when they were in the...
Because every person he talked to, he was like, that was his only line.
We're on a mission from God.
So funny. The McCoys are popping on. They said we love our picture that you drew of Mama Wood's Bluebird car, and we are lucky that she autographed it for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
We've got James Clay joining us. Hey, can't wait to see you guys. We will be up there in a month and a half, so stay tuned. Thomas Hutcherson said, always watch old movies to find old cars. Well, Johnny begs me to watch these movies all the time, and I can't believe it took me this long to see the Blues Brothers because it really was. And how many times have we gone to House of Blues? When we're in downtown Disney,
that's where we start. That's where we start the Disney
pub crawl.
Our
pub crawl every time, and I'm looking at all the merch, and I'm like, God, this stuff is so cool, and blah blah. blah. And have never
new meaning now
in the almost 16 years we've been together.
One of my most favorite giant pictures they have at the bar at the back of the House of Blues is a picture of Elwood and Jake sitting on the hood of the Bluesmobile. And it's such a sick shot. And then they have another one where it says, it's got a picture of their knuckles, and Jake says, oh my God,
I know it wasn't 8 long, whatever it was, because there was a finger without something on it. I forget what it said. Does anyone remember?
Oh, I'm blanking. Holy cow! It's something Jake.
Lizzie said, "Happy birthday to you, Paul Marziani."
I'm gonna have to look that up. Hold
Paul,
on.
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
I did see that.
Happy birthday, Paul Marziani. happy birthday to you.
Michael Allen, hello, you guys, welcome. Ralph Pop Sanchez, and don't forget about the Penguins.
Yeah.
The penguins.
Yes.
Dylan Huffkirk. Is it Huffkirk? Hope to see you Wednesday night if you come out again.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Are you going?
Well, we were planning to do our meeting, so maybe we can hit two birds with one stone.
Possibly. What time is it? Is this the one at
Yes.
Diesel?
Diesel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. Oh, Dylan. Is this Dylan in the Jeep?
Is that who said that?
It was Dylan
Yes.
Huffker. Okay. Perfect. Yes, we may be out there again. Hopefully not as cold this week. We'll see. Paul Marciani said, thank you. It was a great day. George said, this is a car movie you might like, kind of hooky, Hot Rod 1979 movie, aka Rebel of the Road. Have you seen it? Does that sound familiar? We'll have to check it out. He posted the YouTube link to it, so we'll have to look at that later. Dylan says, yes, he is the Jeep guy.
Right. So it does say Jake on his knuckles and then Elwood on his knuckles. I thought it said something else too.
Yeah, because Elwood was only ELWO.
Yeah, he was missing two on his. Yep.
Yeah.
But Jake only had it on the one finger. But I thought it said something else on the other one too.
Well, it was a fun night. We made popcorn. Yeah. Anytime he wants me to watch, I'll watch anything. Just make me popcorn.
Yeah, like you say that, but anyway. But what a great film! If you again, it's an older movie.
Are you
now.
able to share your screen, or are you scared? Every time we do the screen share, we tend to lose the broadcast.
Let me see if I can do it. Hold on.
Oh, Dylan's showing off now. He said, I'll probably bring another car this week. We'd love to see it, actually. That'd be great.
Let me. Oh. Whoops.
I was going to say, share it and show that Blues Brothers print you did. George said, I have few Steel Willie's coupe gassers, so I dug the movie. Very cool. Lizzie said, I watched that movie 100 times. Well, I am 99 times behind you. Mark said, I posted pics of the Bluesmobile slot car on both your Facebook pages. Oh, cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
All right, let's take a look here and see if I can share it.
Yes, we will see if we can share the screen, because I want you guys to see how the print came out. This was the year. Well, first of all, it was during the pandemic, and this was the year of movie cars. We did a bunch. How cool is that?
So there is the Bluesmobile. There's Jake and Elwood.
So cool.
Hanging out there in Chicago.
Very cool.
Yeah, episode 8. It was a fun one.
Yep. So it's season 3, episode 8 during the 2020 year. And it's still available in print if you'd like it for $20.
And if you go to the website and click up here on the other side, you can actually click on and it'll take you to that episode, and you can still watch those old episodes.
And I think we talked about it then, and I had no clue what anyone was talking about, because we did discuss the movie.
Yeah, it
was before I saw it, so I didn't know anything.
You were
about
definitely not sure of what you were talking about.
I was not. Yeah. Michael Allen said, watching The Great Gatsby, that would be a spice car to do, or maybe nice car to do.
Nice car, probably.
What was that? Do you remember seeing that?
Probably like a 30s car.
Oh,
probably like
because it was gangster times. Great Gatsby.
Sure. Do you understand that not everything is defined as gangster times? There was other things going on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hank said, I'll have the video up on YouTube tomorrow. Oh, so maybe.
Wonderful.
Maybe it wasn't there. Okay.
Oh, it wasn't on YouTube, but it is available if you go to the website.
Right.
You can go and it'll show you on Facebook.
Okay, so let's get into now that we're done discussing that.
I really so Blues Brothers recommend, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. I had not seen all of the Blues Brothers 2000s. I hadn't seen any of the other adaptations of blues stuff. I will say when we were at Autorama, there was a great band that were playing. Oh yeah, they came on as the Blues Brothers. Phenomenal.
They did a great job. Yeah.
Great job. Played all the songs and stuff that they sang and different things. Even Rawhide.
I think Shaggy said he coordinated that because they were so good, and he has them back every year.
Yeah, I don't know, but they were super great. So yeah, and they're not the only ones. We've seen there used to be at Universal Studios in Universal, at least here in Orlando, they used to have two guys dressed as the Blues Brothers and the Bluesmobile cruising around and they would stop and they'd sing a few songs and then they get back in and they take off into the car and drive around the other part of the park. So that was a cool thing to see too. So, and I want to say when I was at Universal in California, I thought it might have happened, but maybe not. I don't know. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it, hopefully they bring it back because it was really neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about some other stuff. That's the Blues Brothers. Check it out.
So, as you know,
yeah,
Kona 5 ongoing project.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, I thought it was done. No, I'm just
No.
kidding. I knew there were a few things that Johnny still wanted to do, but there may be some vision changes as well. So
yeah, so something that I've been kicking around. Well, of course, we've got to add on the phenomenal panels that have been built or laid down and bead rolled for me by the great Hobo's Hot Rod Garage,
Jim Pollan.
So you know, with all the things going, timing, you know, right around the time of all the stuff that happened is when I got those panels, and I didn't really get to show them or even get to start messing around with them. So those are in the works. I also had been sent a phenomenal gift from our good friend there over there at Loose Nuts Safari Windows. I got sent a Safari window to put into Kona as well. So that's gonna be later on down the road because we're still messing with windows and trying to get things work, and I don't want to waste the Safari window until I get all the other windows functioning. Not to mention kicking around the idea of chopping a little bit more. But anyways,
because we didn't have enough trouble getting in and out of it the other
you got
day.
in there fine.
I did. So
that's the problem. So you got in it too comfortably, and I was like, damn it, I could have chopped it more. Because that when I was doing it, chopping the top.
Give me a minute. My hip is acting up. So
I was jacked with mine, but I was worried that you would have trouble getting in and out. So that's why I didn't do too much, and now I regret I didn't do enough.
For me,
I should have went the dollar size window. And
Wednesday night was my first journey.
Yeah.
In Kona
since
the rebuild.
Yep.
And
you had sat in it once, but that was
sat in it, but I didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Comfort wise, the same. Really. I didn't have any issues. It did feel a little lower to me, just as far as like windshield placement.
Like as you get by other cars, you feel really small.
I did feel really, and like just freezing because it was cold here that night. Like the coolest night out is when we decided to go, and I had no windows to roll up. I was bundled though, and it was fun. It was a fun ride. Mechanically, maybe you needed to do a little bit extra.
We could do more to the seats. The seats could definitely use some love.
That's not mechanical. I'm talking about the shifting and.
Oh, what does that got to do with?
Because that was my only. Nothing. I wasn't talking about comfort. I shifted to mechanical issues at this point.
The shifting wasn't the problem. It was as we were going around corners, and
it just seemed to.
It would almost stop running for a second,
like it wanted to stall, but it didn't.
Yeah, I would have to gas it. It was almost like there's a little bit of fuel, not enough fuel going back to the carb, or maybe too much fuel. I don't know. So I got to mess with some timing by mess with the carburetor, adjust it.
But that was really only like the second or third time you took it out.
I haven't changed the fuel filter since it had sat for that whole time and stuff. So that needs to be changed. I'm sure that would probably help it.
A couple little things that we want to do.
But other than that, I mean, once it was in gear and was running, it ran great. It took off. It was moving.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We kept up with traffic and everything.
Now, the only weird thing that I've noticed, again, with the body change and it being different, it handles way differently now and gets a little squirrely that it didn't do before. I don't know if, because especially with the winds that have been blowing, I don't know if it's just because it's so light and having the truck bed now, and there's a lot more things that are grabbing air that weren't grabbing air before, is maybe why it's. I don't know if my stupid little custom touch of that rear fin wing thing isn't messing with some downforce or raising. I don't know. Maybe it could be messing with some of the airflow going through the back of the car.
It was always a bit bouncy anyway. Like if you hit a bump, it would kind of shimmy a bit until you corrected it. But I didn't notice anything.
That's from years of you driving around in modern cars with shocks and stuff. Got spoiled.
So we were talking about obviously you finishing that up, but I've been saying this since you started the project, really. And really not even since you started, but since you were like a couple months in, and had a little bit of confidence.
And we had done a send off before that. Think about that.
We did a send off for Raquel because you were going to sell it. And it's still a plan,
Yep.
still a possible plan. However, my thought, and probably the thought of some other people who know that we have that car, is why not do something with it? It's sitting here. It's something that you already have. It's you had a vision for this thing when we first bought it, for you to chop it, channel it, section it, whatever you were going to do. And you didn't do it because you didn't have the confidence of the welding that you have now. And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is this a thought? Is this something probable that could occur? Or
I mean, I've looked at it and thought about it and stuff. So here's the dilemma. The dilemma. For all the things that I want to do to it, I don't know if my skill set and the amount of tools that I have available to do what I want to do to it, would want to do to it, that I still have the correct fabrication tools to do what would need to be done to make that the vision that I had for it, and even any changed visions now.
okay.
Could I cut and repair panels and do stuff like that? Sure. There's some repair work I could do on body stuff now. I think I'd feel confident I could cut metal out, weld new metal back in. So buying replacement panels and stuff like that would not be that big of a deal. So getting it to a point of where at least visually looks in better condition than it is, yes. The custom things that I would want to do would take some major fabrication tools, rollers, as far as like shaping, being able to take metal brakes and sheet rollers to do English wheel, shrinker, stretchers, those kind of, all these tools that I would really need to do to fix sail panels and big, because we're talking now bigger pieces than a Volkswagen.
True.
To do what I would want to do, because my vision is to take it from a 4-door, turn it into a 2-door, and do some. This vision I have is really sectioning and cutting the car up a lot. And that's just the body. That's not including all the chassis work that would need to be done to get it to where it would do. Because in order to really make that thing a better drivable car, custom wise, the engine's tired. So I wouldn't, utilizing the same transmission and drivetrain in there would mean getting either the same engine or the next step up, the 235, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But if you're going to spend the money for that motor, you could buy a small block Chevy. And then if I do that, then I got to change out the drivetrain that's in there currently. And again, setting
so it's not just a matter of fabrication. It's a matter
setting
of
all that stuff
mechanical.
up. I'm not as familiar with, taking a enclosed drive line, pulling that out, putting a standard drive line in, making sure that I'm squared up as far as the rear end and all that kind of stuff, doing chassis work. It would take time pulling the body off of the car, separating them for periods of time, because I would need to do that work and also body work. And, I had barely enough room to fit a little Volkswagen in the garage. So would it be cool? Would it be awesome to do it? It's a lot more involved than really what my dream is. And again, this is not saying it's less involved by any means, trying to find like a 20 or a 30s car, but the space to take up of what we have available is about the same as what I have that we took up for the Volkswagen.
Well, and I didn't realize that you'd have to modify the chassis to do what you want to do.
Well, and again, if I'm going to do what I want to do to it, it would not make sense to do all this crazy cool stuff to the body and then still leave it on that old factory drivetrain that is old and tired. That's
okay. So then here's my next burning question.
What do we do with it?
If we sell
it,
so we're going to sell it. Okay. So if we sell it, then what is your ideal
2030s car? 2030s car.
And
I haven't decided what a car or truck.
Okay.
2030s car.
And you just want it to be just the body? I mean,
what do you mean?
Do you need something with a motor?
A car. 2030s car is what I want to find.
Done.
No, not necessarily done.
In what condition are you willing to accept it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to, based on now what I know how to do, my skill level. Again, if I was going to be doing drivetrain engine type stuff, where I'd have to take the body off and put, it's about space. that big car is not going to fit. There's not enough room to separate the car and the body and have the chassis out there and a car in here and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a smaller car, which a 2030s car is about the size of the Volkswagen,
that might be easier.
it will fit in the garage at least.
What are your thoughts? Your buddy Martin, our good buddy Martin, had said that he picked up. So funny story, and I don't know if we shared this.
We didn't.
Go ahead and tell the story. So when
well, it's not a big story.
I first met you,
yeah, back, and here again, my mom got a couple bucks from when my dad passed away, and she gave me like $2,000 to go buy a project. And I went and bought this car, and again, not knowing anything. This is right in the midst of just finding my way into the scene and the culture and stuff. So I buy a 1940 Ford pickup cab sitting on a truck chassis. I have no idea all I knew is it had a Cadillac motor on it. Didn't know if it was, it's a Cadillac motor. That's cool. It looked cool. Not realizing that it was probably sealed. Years later, when I finally got an opportunity to pull it out and was like, I'm going to start trying to do something, that it was all seized up and everything. So realistically, the guy got me for $2,000 for a truck cab that was in good condition. In the chassis itself had straight axle, and kind of like almost like a 4-link rear deal on the chassis ish. So it could have been. When I looked, I was like, oh, this could possibly do something. Anyways, long story short, I have it for years and years. Probably spent another $5,000-$6,000 in storage fees over the course of the years, and holding on to it, saying one day I'm going to get to this project. I'm going to learn how to weld.
You moved it a couple times.
Never happened. Moved it into our garage. Moved it back out to a storage. Almost lost it a few times.
And you wound up getting Raquel. And we discussed it, and you were like, you know what? I have this car now.
Because I was in the midst of, I was like, I'm never going to, I need to find a car I can drive around. I want to find an old car I can drive around. That's what I found Raquel for sale for $2,500.
No, Raquel was $1,400.
It was for sale for $2,800. We got it for the $1,400.
Oh, okay.
It was for sale and that was you haggling the whole $1,000.
Of course I do.
Oh, you got the whole $100 off what he was going to take for it. But anyways, I talked him to $1,500, and then ItyB came in and she really laid down the thunder, and he got him to drop it for $100 less. Anyways, it's long story short, we got Raquel for $1,400, and years and years and years. Well, not years and years, but years of fun.
Oh yeah.
And driving around and just almost dying and multiple times, and just adventures in Raquel. But would I love to do? Sure, if I had the means. Again, that was one of the things.
You didn't finish the story.
Anyways, well, okay, so I buy that car. You're the one that started bringing up Raquel again, and he's going to buy that. So, anyways, I had this project. We get Raquel. I've got that. We're driving around. I'm not touching the other truck thing, so I sell it. $800, and somebody I knew bought it, and then somebody I know now has it and contacted it to me and said, hey, you want to buy it back? And I'm like, I don't know.
So that's a possibility.
There's a part of me that, but it's a 40s.
It is, but it's
20s, 30s is what I want.
I know.
I might go 40s.
We've got Clyde Hensley joining us. He says hi. Wiley Vincent, hello from San Jose.
Hey, what's up, Wiley?
Robert Spear said, hey, just got here. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Are we still on a mission from God? We did discuss that, Robert, already. Dylan said the car is still there on display. Matt Williams said on YouTube, there are a lot of old cars and hot rod flicks. There is one from the late 60s called Pit Stop. Sid Haig is on there as well, plus a cameo by George Barris.
Nice.
The McCoy said, I picked up some yellow tint for my headlights on the swamp buggy. Got to throw that Johnny vibe on it.
Yeah.
He just got done doing all ours.
Mm-hmm.
Guy Hodges said, greetings from North Texas. Welcome. Ralph Sanchez says, anything is potentially possible, probable. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Guy Hodges said, take it to Rancho Roussel and spend a week getting the sheet metal work. Funny story, Guy. We had actually talked to Ian about doing some work on Raquel years ago.
Raquel almost was out to Ian when he was in He was kind of
It was right when he was moving.
in the midst of, he was still kind of at the Pomona shop, not Pomona, but out in I guess it was the Valley. And then but he was in between shops, and he was talking about this new place out in the desert he was going to get. When I went out to do 3FV, I was talking to him like, hey man, he's like, yeah, just send it out to me, no problem, just send it out to me. And then when I found out he was moving to the desert, and he was like, I gotta bring all these things, and all the cars, I gotta go from here to the desert. And I was like, I don't want to add more onto his plate.
Right.
And he's being a good friend and offering that he would take it into the thing, and he'd give me an opportunity, and maybe we could do something with it. And that's where it kind of got left, is I'd never pursued it more because I just didn't want to. I just didn't feel like as a friend, as much as I want.
It's like,
would
here,
still
let me
love
dump my stuff on you, and then you have to transport it to the
love for him to do something with it, because I think it would be
Oh,
amazing to
he
do
would.
it would be
He's got
amazing
this-
to do a collab with the car and stuff like that. And nothing's, who knows on down the road, and
Possibly.
it's still a dream of mine to have a Roussel custom.
But
as
it
well.
did almost get out there. I was calling
Yeah.
around and getting quotes for vehicle transport because it obviously
Yeah.
wasn't drivable.
I think we
out there.
had it all lined up,
We did.
and then it was like, that was right, like I said, right when he was like closing on the place, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do that to that guy. He already has so much on his plate. He had to go out there and grade it and get the whole place livable after he
Right.
bought it. So that just didn't seem like the right thing to do for somebody who had done so much cool stuff for me,
And that was
to
like
dump
5 years
my
ago.
my problem
Right.
on him. Not that it would have been a problem, and he would
He would have loved it.
he would have taken it, and I know he would have if I'd have done it. He would, even if just Ian, the type of person he is, even if he was probably reluctant, he would have said, yeah, that's fine, Johnny.
Yeah.
But I just, it didn't feel right to do that to him. And especially then, very quickly after that, then boy, the guy's married, and I'm like, I can't do that too. Yeah, let me just, he's just got a new wife, and hey, let me send my problem as you're trying to get this marriage started. That's not the right thing to do.
Not to mention, I think it was right around the same time Motor Trend picked him up, and
well, yeah, all the stuff was coming,
and the shows
yes,
were kind
I
of
was like,
decided for him.
mhm.
Hey, this is what we're
Well,
doing.
not decided
Well,
for him.
You know what I mean? He didn't have as much
That's not what it means.
flexibility.
But yeah, it was definitely, there was a tighter. Well, let's say this. There was a tighter thing around what
Schedule.
was getting it done.
Right.
So there wasn't as much free time as there still isn't, because if you look at, here we are talking about Ian Roussel again. We're the best support commercial for that guy, but we love him. He's such a, I will always be that person for him, just because him and Jamie have done nothing but show us kindness.
That's right.
And love and support. So I have no problem being a cheerleader for one of my favorite fabrication shows, which is their YouTube channel show, and of course Full Custom Garage. But now that they're doing all these projects on there, don't think for a minute I'm like, man, I sure like to ship it to him so he could throw it in the mix. But at the same time, I have visions of what I'd like to do. My dream is a 20 or 30s hot rod, a traditional hot rod. That is my dream. Isn't that every car guy's dream? Well, that's my dream. And that's something that I that's why I have the Volkswagen. It's why I turned it into what I can't afford. It's what I had available, and the closest thing I could to make into a Model A pickup or a Model T pickup.
Dylan said,
making what I made.
Dylan said, I got the perfect car for you when the time comes if you want to grab the Model A.
Yeah, you dirty dog, boy. I tell you. Showed me pictures. And I'm like, I've seen that car.
Yeah.
And there's many times I'm like, man, I wish I had a couple bucks to throw at this guy, because that thing it's in super great shape. And anyways, who knows? If the stars align.
We've got Heather Myers joining us. Hello, happy Monday, Heather? From the Myers family.
The Myers group.
Hopefully you guys have dug your way out of the snow there.
So busy, so much stuff going on there.
They always have a ton of stuff.
Thanks
going
always
on.
for sharing and tagging us in all your photos and things going on.
Love it.
I'm sure I don't share as much of the stuff that you post, but it's neat to see just the continual awesomeness going on in that family. So
there is.
We're fans of the Myers.
Everybody pitches in. Sure. Andrew Newman said, Johnny the boy.
What's up, man?
He also said Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he just went into Harry's and he ordered 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec exhaust.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know what any of it means,
Roger that.
It sounds pretty cool.
Sounds like Hector's got some cool stuff going on.
We've got Julie Anderson joining us. Happy Monday, dear friends. Welcome to the broadcast, Julie. We love you guys.
And I will say that, we were, one of the things we saw on our little Wednesday cruise thing, there was a group of guys out there in the Honda Civics and the different things,
Yeah.
and again, we're sitting in a group, and some that were kind of talking a little bit of trash about it, and I was like, it's still the culture. It may not be my flavor, I mean, I can't see grabbing a Honda Civic and doing custom stuff, or trying to build basically a street race car type thing and the things that they do. But at the same time, though, it's still the automotive culture continuing. At least it's combustion engine, and at least they're doing something with it, even though some of it is a lot of putting stickers on sometimes. But a lot of things that they're doing, they're really, all those wide body kit things that are going on, and they're still advancing the car culture, and I'm sure,
and it's an open meetup, so it's for everybody.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as a traditional hot rod car guy, a lot of times those younger guys get heat. But I can only imagine back in the 40s and 50s, as these guys were coming back from World War II, and they had these crazy looking hot rods, those hooligans on the street. Everybody thought they were just doing stupid stuff and modifying cars ridiculously. And as it went into customs and three lights on this side and one light on that side, how dumb is that? But it's not dumb. It's just it's a continuation of creativity and doing stuff that just continues on the culture. I would rather live in a world where everybody's doing their flavor of what they like to do versus zero cars, and we're running around on bicycles and mopeds and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with bicycles, because there's some cool stuff going on with bikes too.
You had your moment. We were doing bikes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mental Diversion said, how about Ian? We have discussed it.
Yeah, sure. I would love to have a conversation with him about it, but his plate is so full right now with the builds and things that I think he's doing the guy that's got 5-6 plates going at the same time. Not only is I think they wrapped up the last season of Full Custom Garage, which hopefully for them goes into a new season, but he's got, I think, 1, 2, 3, like 6 different projects that they're working on the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So he's got a day off. He's got a lot going on as far as projects. He's definitely not in a short supply of projects and stuff. And the hard part now, as a YouTube person building cars, versus it's an automatic, it's real fast response, versus like when you put your show on Motor Trend and you're like, oh, I wonder if the show's doing well, and it's all based on what the higher ups are telling you if the show's good or not good. I mean, they're getting automatic feedback in the viewership on the YouTube channel, so they can see sometimes, like when he's working on the Bug project, I've heard him say, we get a lot of views when we're working on the Bug project, but when we go to work on the Jeep project, not as many views. But when we go on this car, we get more, and when we do on this one, not as many. So the hard part is just like, that was a little bit of my worry even when I was thinking about filming the Kona stuff, and now I'm going to try to film myself butchering these Hobos Hot Rod Garage panels, and I pray to God I don't mess them up. But I think it'll be interesting. I'm going to try to film myself doing that. I don't know why. It's not going to teach anybody anything, but at least you can maybe see some guys struggle and throw tools across the
struggle is real.
Everybody likes to watch. Nobody watched Wild World of Sports for the cool sports. You wanted to see the wrecks.
Agony of defeat.
That's right. So there'll be plenty of agony of these feet happening.
These feet.
As I'm trying to weld these panels in and make them look cool.
You're a dork. Yeah. Jay Newby said, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
We'll see you, Jay, in another month and a half. Ronnie said, I'm back. I had to go eat. Love you guys. The 40s are sweet customs. Mental Diversion said, one of the best episodes. Whoops. Where am I? One of the best episodes was when you helped him with the project. There were actually a couple episodes that Johnny was on, but I agree. I mean, Johnny has a great on-screen presence. This comes from years and years in drama club, but he's a natural on camera and a natural to speak with. You have a
you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
And you're cute.
Oh, shut up.
You're easy on the eyes.
You don't like the gentle bin I got going on.
You do need to shave a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I think they have a great dynamic, the two of them. I think they get along well on screen.
We have a very similar viewpoint and thought process of ideas, and I definitely have not a newfound respect, because I've always respected what he does, but I definitely like it was this project that I did finally allowed me to envision things I had, and utilizing ideas and tools and things I've seen him do and stuff, and go, oh, he's right, it works. So that part's fun and cool, but yeah.
Jay Newby said Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I think that must have been this. Somebody was quoting a scene from Fast and Furious. That's what that thing up top was about.
Oh, okay.
The Hector's going to.
Oh, okay.
Now what's sad is it's a franchise of movies I've really never. I think I watched the first.
I watched the one.
I think I watched the first Fast and Furious and maybe the second one, and I just
the one that the guy died. What was that one?
Didn't someone die in all of them?
No,
I don't know. I didn't.
It was like Paul
Walker, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Like I saw that episode.
I didn't watch any.
That was the only one I saw. Wesley Wilkerson said Johnny had the right idea when he said turn it into a 2-door with the right amount of time, money, and effort. You can turn it into a great 8 winner. And again, it's the space. You forgot space. We don't have space. That's the problem.
Space. That's a big.
We do have a fenced yard now, and we could get another shed back here for
You're gonna need
some of the garage items to
sure
allow you more garage space, but it probably still won't.
Again, if you look at the wheelbase and the amount of garage space, that would mean the front of the car, Raquel, would be right up against where you open the dryer door, and you wouldn't be getting any laundry done.
I ain't hating it.
Yeah. Well, then Kevin's not going to be able to get into his Totino's pizza rolls.
No, he won't.
And or his 47,000 packs of whatever that crap is that he likes to eat. The
ramen.
Adam Sandler's favorite.
Mac and cheese.
No, the damn yogurt packs.
Oh, the yogurts.
What is it?
The handy packs.
That's not what they're called.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not handy pack.
I think so.
No, it's not.
The puddings?
Pudding. Yeah, what are those? Snack packs.
Snack pack.
Handy packs.
Snack pack.
New from Nestle's, the handy pack.
Ronnie said, hey, Julio is my West Coast custom brother here in San Jose. It's nice to San Jose following you too. Oh,
nice.
He's on here too.
We appreciate so much of the viewership and all over the place, and there's so many guys doing so much cool stuff. Man.
George said this old man is turning in early tonight. Time to dream. And then he quotes, in the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit upon all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. So are you calling yourself an old man?
He did say that.
Well, sweet sleep, brother.
Acts is a great
oh
book.
My gosh, great. I'm actually working that now, and I'll be teaching on chapter 10 tomorrow at our fellowship. Wiley Vincent said, I think Andrew was talking about the Fast and Furious movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Hank D said, wait, that's from Fast and Furious. I thought, I didn't know who Hector was, because isn't there a Hector? Don't we know a Hector?
Do we? I'm sure I got a bunch of cousins.
Anyways, Julio Hernandez says hello from San Jose. Ronnie sent me, so
What's
there he
up,
is.
Julio? What's
welcome,
going on,
sir.
Man? Welcome.
Mental Diversion said, so ever do shows in Texas? Not yet.
Boy,
we want to.
Yes.
I have family there that I'd love to see. I think it would be a great road trip. It's something we could do in a day or two. So yeah, keep us posted. There was one in Texas we were invited to. This past year, we didn't get to go. I forget what it was. It was it was a pretty decent sized show too.
Yeah.
We just had first of all, I want to just say 2023 was amazing. We were able to attend 2 shows.
Well, for us that was a lot.
It was
considering
a lot.
You were like, it's a waste.
No, I never said it was a waste. It was just.
Can we go back and
the coordination?
Let's go back and look at the tape.
The coordination of time off from our day jobs alone was something that
I'm going to call
was huge.
Stink on that.
No.
If we go back and look at previous episodes early on, you were always like,
I said local shows.
I don't know.
I said local shows.
Is it really worth it?
I was referring to local shows.
You didn't. You're like, you could go. I mean, it'd probably be good for you to go.
It would be good for you to
go. But I don't see the purpose of us both going. And now you're like, we need to go. We need to go.
People want me there. Damn it. Jim McMillan said, can you tell me what would be a better motor for my Skyline, a Gallo 12 or a Gallo 24? And that was from Too Fast, Too Furious. Scott Ferguson said, "Oh, that's because he's famous. Have you met Johnny?"
Oh, jeez.
There's gonna be a lot of that going on when we go up there.
Looking forward to it.
Matt Williams said, "Posted something I just finished to your wall, guys. Yes, please share your projects,
Absolutely.
share your visions. We'd love to see it all." Jim McMillan said Paul Walker passed away during the filming of Fast and Furious 7. Okay, so that's the one
Wow.
I saw.
Yeah.
Howard Pierpont said, "You drive by the Brian and Lisa McCoys, and I'm just north of I-20. Yep, he's out in Texas as well. We'd be passing the McCoys. We'd almost need to do like a
Road trip.
10-day road trip
Mhm.
and hit
Rent-
Draco up in
Like
Georgia.
rent an RV
and then,
and
yeah,
that'd be cool.
how fun. Mental Diversion said, "I own an indie comic business, and there is a superhero car show in Comic Con.
Oh, nice.
That would be fun."
Wow.
Let me see what else I had on my list.
That's funny. One of the ideas I was kicking around today was just
Oh,
messing
yes.
around. Was I was going, what if I turn Kona into the Ratmobile, or the Ratmobile, and instead of the 5, because I've always drawn these little Batmobile type different
love the
versions of
Batmobile.
stuff, and I thought, how cool would it be if I just started messing around making it look kind of like what would happen if Batman hit hard times. And he couldn't afford the cool Batmobile, and he couldn't afford the sick. Listen, I finally got to watch the latest Batman. Holy cow! Why did I wait so long to see that? I'm not a giant muscle car guy, but holy cow, the new Batmobile's sick. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, what if he was a low budget Batman? He'd be Ratman. So I think it'd be funny. Anyway.
Hank D
Probably not gonna
said,
happen, but it was funny.
Hank D said, Kid Jalopy needs its own comic. Guys, if you haven't seen these Kid Jalopy prints that we have available on the website, go check it out because they are cool. And he's right. In fact, we did start a comic. We were trying to do a comic one time and never got to do it. Again, these damn day jobs are getting in the way of us wanting to do all the things.
There's all the stuff that we want to do.
Jay Newby
Although we did have a recent. What were we doing recently? That it was when I was drawing the Johnny comic, Kid Jalopy comic. It was the first comic I drew, and it was where ItyB was helping me in an instrument hold the flashlight, and we just we were using the clippers on Coop's feet to cut some of the fur off. And I'm like hold the flashlight so I could see, and of course the flashlight never hit where I needed it to be.
I'm too busy watching what you're doing.
No, you weren't watching anything I was doing. You're like, oh my god, she's so
she was
adorable.
So cute.
Oh my god, look at her paws. Her paws are just such a dog paw. Yeah, they're dog paws. Oh my god, have you ever seen paws like this? Yeah, on every dog. They're dog paws.
So cute. Yeah. Jay Newby said, "Are you guys going to have merchandise at Autorama?" We were just discussing this, and yes, we will be coming with some merch. Check out the table.
Yeah, so that's the hard part.
He says he wants a beanie. We will have beanies.
Yes, we'll have we plan to have beanies and hats and stickers, of course. And Ron
thinking through some.
Ron said like, we need your assistance, Ron.
Yeah,
Ron to the front, please. Ron to the front.
We'll reach out because we've got some files that we'd like to send.
And then we're just trying to figure out, if you go to the website, and if you haven't, johnjalopy.com, there's about 20
over 20 now
t-shirt designs. You can't bring all 20 and have sizes enough for everybody. So the plan is to try to bring, maybe like 3 designs. So at least we have something that you can walk out with a John Jalopy logo on it, and you can rep the brand. Yep. You too can be
rep it.
Can be a really bad fabricator and half-ass artist.
Well,
that's like Johnny Jalopy.
Speaking of product, now that you are an experienced welder, semi-experienced,
you really need to calm down.
No,
I know how to turn it on and I know how to make a weld, but I am not a welder. I'm learning to be a welder,
and I think you need to learn.
No. Here's what I need. You need to understand. Every single time you give me props for what I know about welding, you make everybody else who knows how to weld, you just take away from them. So you got to stop. I'm going to stop you.
I drove in a car that did not fall apart.
It did not fall apart
together.
And I did weld it together.
Then you're a successful welder. Here's what I want to say, though. There are product ideas.
Oh, that's funny.
2024 Johnny Jalopy product ideas that could involve metal welding.
Yes, and also something in the works. I don't know if anybody saw the little tidbit of the little Kona 5 little toy, you may be able to buy one of those very, very soon. Me and me friend Hank Dutton are working on a project to get the old Kona 5 model kit.
Why are we Irish?
I don't know, but it just seems right. It just seems to fit. It does. Anyways, we plan to hopefully get that going. Hank and I need to talk and meet and stuff and figure out if he's been able to do the printing of it, and then we're gonna. It could be available soon. So
Hank,
if you saw
we need to schedule a meeting.
It's gonna be cool.
So we might have some new products because Johnny has these ideas all the time. He'll look at something,
plethora of ideas,
and be like, "Oh, we could do Johnny Jalopy on that." Oh, it's an oven mitt. We can make Johnny Jalopy oven mitts.
We could though.
We could. But I think that using the metal welding experience and maybe making some products out of that. I mean, Shaggy LeBlanc on our broadcast here every year for Autorama and several other shows makes these wonderful welded creations for award giveaway. And I'm like, why couldn't you dabble in stuff like that?
Yeah. And then that table he welded together that was so sick.
Of sprockets and gears.
Yeah, 700-800 pounds of pure artistic fun. Yeah, you complain about a t-shirt shipping.
I'm not saying we're bringing it to Autorama with us. I'm saying
I'm just saying you're whining about a $5 t-shirt shipping or a $7 t-shirt shipping, and you're like, oh yeah, Johnny, make some stuff out of metal. That'll cheap ship.
Cheap ship?
Yeah, it's cheap ship.
Anyhow, we've got Art Smith, our buddy Art Smith.
There he is.
The light giver.
That's right.
I told Johnny that the inline 6 will go right into Rock Hill as it sits. It's a runner, readily available to put it right in the car and go.
Yeah, and again, I'm not concerned so much about the engine because I've seen some 235s. I've always thought it'd be cool to do 235 with the old, I think it's Fulton intake and exhaust manifold, and I've already still have Lakes pipes I bought that for it and stuff. It's the enclosed driveline switch conversion that I don't know. Probably if I watch some YouTube videos on how to do it. But again, we're talking about this is chassis work that would have to be done aside of all the bodywork stuff. And again, that would be taking the body and probably pulling the body off and doing the chassis work and then putting the body back on. And I don't have room for 2 of those. I get in trouble enough with just a Volkswagen still sitting in the garage when Christmas and New Year's and time to put decorations happen. So
I've never complained that it's in the way.
Not yet.
I haven't said a thing.
It's coming. This summer.
Guys, 2024 is off to a
Johnny Jalopy had just brought in his new project. Summer 2024.
We're going to kick butt this year. 2024 is going to be a year of victory. We're gonna dedicate it to Mama Jalopy, and we're gonna have a fantastic year. Yeah,
we got ideas, we got plans. Watch dreams happen right here. Sketchy Live, the podcast. Sketchy Live Mondays, where we draw fun stuff. You are always welcome to come and be a part of it. That's my favorite part of what we do here. Is ItyB and I don't just ramble. We sit here,
ramble.
We do, but what I'm saying in the rambling part is we stop and we read what you are writing, because you're a huge part of what is going on. It's what keeps the conversation going. Your things spark topics and stuff like that. It's this. We appreciate that part of it. That's the funnest part of all of it. And then, and if you watch, I'm a big fan of watching podcasts. A lot of part of podcasting itself is about just talking about a subject and rambling on and being funny and all those kinds of things. And we hope we do that for you and that we're entertaining. But I think this added little piece, which is we take the second, which kind of stops some of the progress sometimes, and we listen to what you have to say. But I think in the long run, it's a group.
It's beneficial.
It's us having a conversation. Like if we were
all
hanging,
part of the broadcast.
If we were all hanging out having lunch or dinner together, and we were just talking about car stuff and shooting the crap and baloneying about the next project and what's going on. That's the funnest part about it. And we learn so much from you guys. And
we do.
I'm sure you learned so much. We are a plethora of knowledge. And
me especially.
The vastness of pure knowledge of
The emptiness
soups
of my brain.
from soup to nuts. Soup to
In any case, guys, we're going to bid you adieu. We're an hour and 20 into this
yes,
broadcast.
time
so
to cut it clean.
we are going to, and we appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys again so much for
We
all the
love you.
outpouring of love and support during this time with the loss of Mama Jalopy, but she lives on. And 2024 is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be an amazing year for you guys out there. Have all faith and confidence in that. Continue to do what you're doing. Keep striving for your projects and your dreams, and don't give up on them. If a goofball like me can happen and have a little bit of some of that happening and be able to hang out with you fine folks every Monday night, you too can have it happen to you. Again, I've watched this woman, my beautiful wife, come from those first episodes, and what a powerhouse behind the microphone and in front of the camera. And I appreciate you, and I'm so happy that we're doing it together again for sixth season.
No,
it's not our sixth season.
No.
What is it?
8th.
8?
No. 7.
Oh my God, you don't even know.
It's 7. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We are entering into our 7th. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
See the way
7.
I counted?
It's 7. Yeah, I did. I didn't want to look. Season 7 of Sketchy Live as a show. And then, of course, over the course of this last year, we've turned into Sketchy Live, the podcast. We'll continue to podcast and do stuff. We have great guests coming up.
Yes.
We've got to just start setting that up. It was a little tough at the beginning of the year. Everybody has with all the stuff going on. But I plan to be reaching out to those folks that I asked to come on the broadcast, and we're hoping to see folks like, of course, our good buddy Art,
yes.
Howard Pierpont. Good to see maybe
we'll
Ronnie Orgas and Ian and Jamie, some Doug Dorr, some Squindo, Drag Daddy. Hope to get them on. I even hope, and I know it'll get denied, but I'm going to even ask Yvonne Franco and see if I can get him. I doubt it, but good guys like Erie Eric and Dennis the Menace and maybe Little Daddy Roth and Hicks and Uncle Larry and Shaggy and Shaboom and the Fergusons and we have so many, a lot of that. When we go to Detroit, I'd like to do an episode when we go out there, even if we have to film it and then show it later.
Yep.
So we have much plans for 2024. Hang in with us. We hope to see you next Monday at 9:30 Eastern time, right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. You have been watching Sketchy Live with John Jalopy, ItyB. We will see you guys next Monday. And as always, stay sketchy. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
JohnnyJalopy.com. Don't forget.